Hi, my name's Scarlet Wilson. I write for Harlequin, Mills Boon Medical Romances. I've been writing for them for the last 18 months and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I discovered medical romances a few years ago and I read books by Kate Hardy and Sarah Morgan and I absolutely loved them and decided then and there that I wanted to write those kind of stories too. Once I decided that, I joined the RNA and the New Writers Scheme, and whilst I was in that I saw an online pitch advertised on eHarlequin for a medical chance to put your story in front of authors. I was one of 5 lucky people who won the chance to pitch online to the editors and they requested to see a partial from me. So I sent 3 chapters and a synopsis away, and I have to say I sent a very bad synopsis away, so don't worry about writing these things because everything can be adjusted and changed. I was very lucky to then get a request for a full manuscript, but it took me a long time to get past that part. I had to revise my manuscript 4 times, working with an editor at Mills Boon who was very good to me and very patient and gave me a lot of guidance. And I did the pitch in March 2010 and I sold in January 2011. So the story that I pitched and the story that I sold ultimately was titled It Started With a Pregnancy, and the story featured my heroine Melissa, who was a diabetic midwife who fell pregnant to someone she worked with, and she struggled with her diabetes during her pregnancy and she struggled with things being a bit out of her control. My hero was a very dark and brooding character, and the whole time I wrote him I saw George Clooney sitting in front of me. So I pinned a picture in my wall so this could be my hero every time I looked at him. And I got some inspiration when I went to a town that's next to me that had a beautiful new marina built, and I thought, oh, my hero and heroine, there's got to be a flat overlooking a beautiful marina, and that gave me inspiration for where I wanted to set my story. The story was all about loss because he'd had a wife who died previously during pregnancy and childbirth. And he couldn't reveal that to the heroine when he found out she was pregnant, because what kind of hero would do that? So he had a lot of internal struggles and she had a lot of struggles herself because she knew he was hiding something from her. But as in all good medical romances, they got their happy ever after. After the pitch, I was assigned a specific editor to work with, and she basically took me by the hand and led me through every process. So she gave me a set of revisions which I think were a kind of tester to see if I could handle them. She gave me a few guidance points which I followed. I think if she'd given me all the revisions she really wanted in the first email, I would have collapsed and died. So you've got to understand that it's a process and it's a getting to know you process as well. Your editor wants to know if you can handle instructions and if you can interpret what she's looking for. So it takes a bit of time to do that, and I ended up going through 4 sets of revisions, and I've been told that's not unusual. At the time I seemed like the only person in the world to have 4 sets of revisions, but I've met lots of other authors since then who I know have had just as many as me, so I don't feel so anxious about that now. When she phoned me on the 21st of January, I nearly crashed my car. I was so excited when she phoned me to tell me that I'd sold my book. I nearly ran down a poor man that was walking his dog at the side of the road. I actually skidded my car. I really shouldn't be allowed out unsupervised. It was the happiest day of my life. My writing routine absolutely depends on time because time's very precious to me. I work full time right now and I've got 2 young children who've got activities every night of the week and most days at the weekend. So writing time is a real premium for me. I write at least 1,000 words every day and I write it in my half-hour lunch break, and I always think all day about what I'm going to write next, so I never sit down in front of a screen and think, what's coming up? I always know exactly what I'm sitting down to write, and because I've thought about it beforehand, it literally flies out the fingers. If I need to do any research, I do it at night on the internet. If I need to check travel distances, if I need to look up a medical condition, I do all that at night while I'm doing the homework with the kids or while I'm supposed to be watching a football match that my wee boy's in. It's amazing what you can do at the side of a football pitch. The best advice I've got is to keep learning and to keep trying. I'm still learning while I'm writing, and I'm still learning how to work out how to do things and how to make stories better. When I got one of my sets of revisions, I really panicked and I thought I couldn't do it. And Kate Hardy, one of the other medical romance authors, gave me some really good advice because I phoned her in tears. And she said, "Scarlett, you can do this, think about it." She said, "If you don't want to do it exactly the way that the editor's telling you," she said, "find another way to give her what she wants." She said, "Sit down and think about it." She said, "It's suggestions, it's not dictated in stone. This is your story. Just work with her and you'll get there." And she was absolutely right. It is hard, it can be difficult, but all you need to do is do your absolute best and see if you can make it. I didn't think I would ever actually get published, so if I can do it, you can do it too.